This is Fred Burrow with Swift Plumbers. For more information, go to swiftplumbers.com. What I'm doing here is showing how to remove and replace your fill valve, the internal parts of the toilet, and the flapper. You'll want to make sure that you shut off the valve. If it's a multi-turn valve, you want to keep turning it clockwise till it shuts off. Righty-tighty. All you'll need for this project is a wrench, or what us plumbers use, channel locks. If that valve drips when you shut it off, you can also tighten what's called the packing nut if it's loose, and that'll stop it from dripping. That is right behind the handle. Now, once you get it off, you flush the toilet and make sure you empty out all the water into the bowl. Either vacuum out the top so we don't hear the vacuum as we would normally just vacuum it out. I'll put a bucket underneath. You can do one of the two if you don't have a shop vac. Loosen this, which is called the supply nut, and then loosen the fill valve nut. You'll want to take this nut off completely. It is highly recommended that you use Fluidmaster fill valves. As we have found, this is the best device that causes the least amount of problems. When you pull that out, that water is going to dump out of the tank a little bit. Now I want to show how this fill valve works. Right here, when you get your new fill valve, you're going to have a washer that comes with it. Now when you get that, it probably will have a middle part that you have to just push out with your finger. And when you push that out of there, it'll be like that. Now this fill valve, what you do right here on it, when it's in there, you can use this to adjust the height. See this slip ring? Goes up and it goes down. You want to make sure that's down so it don't pop up and flood your house. But when it's in there, if you have to raise the height on it, because you generally want the fill part to be above the flush valve, which I'll show you in a moment. Now, with your new Fluidmaster out of the box, you take it out of the box, push that out, pop this on. Don't worry about what height it's at yet. You'll have your new nut that comes with it. Then you want to take this and put it into the top of the tank, as I will show you. There's your hole where we took it out from the bottom. It just popped right off. You put your new one in there. This will replace the ball type if that's what you currently have. You can cut your fill hose down to size, and then you just clip it onto it, make sure it's secure. Now let's go back to the bottom here. And we're going to take our nut, we're going to tighten that, push down on the top, and just make sure you don't cross thread it. It should turn nice and easy. Turn it all the way up to the top. Take your wrench, clockwise, righty-tighty. Make sure that's nice and tight. Then reconnect your supply line. Once again, you don't want to over-tighten these plastic nuts. They will crack on you. A couple times should be sufficient. Once you get that ready, and you make sure your hose is secure and everything, the next step you'll want to do if you need a new flapper is to replace the flapper. You should only use Corky flappers. These flappers may come with a circle around the middle, but you should always try to connect it by the tits. You see them little tits down there? That's how that's actually connected. I just disconnected it. So if it comes with the rubber piece in the middle, just take your finger and tear that rubber piece out. That's used only if you don't have tits here and it does not work as well. Say the tits broke or whatnot. That's why they put that on there. Now, we'll go back down here and we're going to turn this on. The next step that we would use in this is to see what the water level's at. This goes back to what I had mentioned earlier about that little slip ring on here. You can adjust that when you pull it up, and you can pull this up. This should be above the height of the fill valve. You see? That's where you want that. That's why you adjust it. This is higher than the fill valve. Now, this plus and minus, you can turn this up and down to adjust the height on it so your water level is exactly where you want it to be. That's also important. Now I'll also show you that your tank to bowl bolts, which you can have 2 or 3 of these, depending on the model of toilet, are right down there. If them rubbers are bad, or if the tank is loose on the top or anything like that, it's a lot of times a good idea to change that, which we can discuss in another video. But that's where you have to actually take the bolts off here and pull the whole tank off, and there's going to be a rubber seal in the middle there, and you have to slide the new bolts and new seals down. As you can see, it has a drip here from that right now from us messing with the toilet. You may be able to tighten it as long as the seals aren't bad. We're going to have to go back through there and tighten them, as I know the seals are newer right there. Now, when you're all done, the next important part is wipe up all your water and then put toilet paper, because that'll help you see if you have any leaks or not. It's very important to make sure you check your work. Now you see our water level is good there, but if I wanted to adjust this water level, I would just screw this part of the Fluid Master, and it'll raise or lower this unit. If we raise it up higher or lower it, it'll kick this back on to bring the water level up higher. That's how you adjust that, just by turning it. That'll change your water level. Then you flush it. Again, make sure it's where you want. Make sure you have no leaks down below, and you're good to go. Swift Plumbers, and that is how you change the Fluid Master fill valve and a flapper with just a pair of channel locks and some friendly advice from your swiftplumbers.com.